It was humiliating. A ball like the king's was just another chance for others to look at me and pretend they didn't see me. Or that one glance at me wouldn't put them off their meal. It would be a torturous evening. I could say that without being able to see the future in a crystal ball. Yet our dresses arrived anyway. And the tailor fit them to our bodies. Mine was too tight, as usual. Mother ordered them that way, so I wouldn't overeat in the lead-up. I wasn't fat, I would like that to be clear. But in her eyes, I was. The thought only made me hungry for something sweet like a piece of cake. Or pie. Cinderella also got fitted for a gown. It was not as fancy as Zelly's dress or mine. But it was still a wonderful butter yellow color. She would look good in anything. Even if she went to the ball in her house dress. She would still be noticed. And she would be sure to let us know all about it. I didn't know what all the fuss was about for one prince. I saw him once, at the palace. Mother took us there for the winter feast celebrations. He sat on his throne and didn't talk to anybody. It appeared he liked to sulk just as much as Zelly. Perhaps they would make a good couple. I knew I certainly wouldn't be suited to him. If I were to marry, which I had to. Because I didn't get a choice in the matter. I wanted a man who was strong and adventurous. I wanted a husband who was fun and didn't care about what his wife was wearing or how she must be ladylike at all times. I wanted a partner in crime, someone to enjoy life with. Not someone who told me I must be something I was not. Prince Charming definitely didn't fall into that category. I was certain that all the men my mother had tried to introduce me to didn't. Perhaps I was destined for spinsterhood. I hope you're not daydreaming again. Mother interrupted my thoughts, reminding me. I was trying to sit still while she fussed with my hair. Dreaming is for peasants. Remind me what you must say to the prince. I wasn't exactly paying attention to her lecture. What was it I was supposed to say? Something about my stepfather? I must say that my stepfather was Lord Trevane. And I am pleased to meet him? She pulled my hair a bit harder than was necessary. Say he was your father, it will make it sound better. Lord Trevane was a friend of the king, he will think you are somebody special. You have to fool him to reel him in like a big, fat fish. Yes, mother. Oh, my dear girl, do you even want to please your mother? She sighed as I wondered what I had done wrong this time. Of course I do, but I fear nothing I do will please you. I searched her face in the mirror, trying to determine how the rest of the conversation would go. Half the time I expected her to give up on me and try harder with Zelly. She had a better chance with her. Mother finished with my last curl and took a step away, making sure my hair was sufficiently bound for the ball tomorrow. You can please me by finding a husband tomorrow night. I turned around to face her. I was either incredibly stupid or incredibly brave, I wasn't sure. Why is it so important that I find a husband? Do you not love me as I am? Do I need a man to make me lovable? She looked me directly in the eyes with a love that I hadn't seen for a very long time. Perhaps the mother I knew wasn't completely lost to her grief. I want you to find happiness, just like I did. A husband gives you comfort and security. Something I fear I cannot offer you for much longer. What do you mean? A pit was forming in the bottom of my stomach. What was she talking about? I feared to hear the answer, and yet I needed to know at the same time. Our money is running out, she cast her eyes downwards, staring at her hands. This house is expensive to keep. We need new money, and I am too old to remarry. It is up to you and Zelly now. What do you mean? A pit was forming in the bottom of my stomach. What was she talking about? I feared to hear the answer, and yet I needed to know at the same time. Our money is running out, she cast her eyes downwards, staring at her hands. This house is expensive to keep. We need new money and I am too old to remarry. It is up to you and Zelly now. Mother looked horrified. I had my answer before she even needed to speak. We have Lord Trevaine's memory to uphold. We will continue with the life we have grown accustomed to. I let it go. I knew I wouldn't be able to talk her around. We had lived in a much smaller house before her marriage. I'm sure we would be able to again. She squeezed my shoulder. Sleep well tonight, my girl, tomorrow will be a big day. I let her go without another word. At least I now understood why marriage was so important to her, yet I still couldn't help but feel it was her dream and not mine. I didn't want to marry a man just for his money, it wasn't right. Nor was it fair to him or me. Not that I should have been worried anyway. No man came near me. Our futures depended entirely on Zelly. You'll have to do. Mother said as she stood and did a final check of my gown. I stared at myself in the mirror. The dress was a beautiful light green, embellished with cream lace and ribbons. I had never worn anything that stunning. When I twirled around, the dress swung too, creating a wonderful swirl of color. I felt pretty and delicate, perhaps for the first time in my life. Still, I didn't want to go to the ball. But the dress did sweeten the inevitable just a little. Don't spin around, you'll mess up your hair. Yes, Mother. She dressed Zelly next. Her dress was a deep red, the color of fresh apples from the garden. Its lace and ribbons were black, making the red even bolder. With her hair in curls, Zelly looked very nice too. Mother had gone all out, trying her best to make us noticed. The last dress in the package was Cinderella's. I helped Mother pull it out and we held it up to take in its beauty. Don't spin around, you'll mess up your hair. Yes, Mother. She dressed Zelly next. Her dress was a deep red, the color of fresh apples from the garden. Its lace and ribbons were black, making the red even bolder. With her hair in curls, Zelly looked very nice too. Mother had gone all out, trying her best to make us noticed. The last dress in the package was Cinderella's. I helped Mother pull it out and we held it up to take in its beauty. The tailor is going to hear from me about this. We need this dress tonight. What did you do? The shriek came from behind. We all looked around, seeing Cinderella with her eyes wide open in horror. That was my dress, you ruined it. It wasn't us, the tailor has done something. They made a mistake or had an accident. Mother said, trying to calm the girl down. You did this, Cinderella pointed directly at Mother, making it clear who she was accusing. You didn't want me to go to the ball and take the attention away from your little ugly princesses. Now I can't even go. How could you do this to me? I didn't, she was cut off as Cinderella stormed for the door. I hate you all. I hope you all die in a nasty and horrible way. The door slammed closed behind her. I felt bad about her dress. But she didn't have to overreact like that. She can have my dress, Mother, I offered. I'm sure she'll have a better time than I will. Nonsense, you will do no such thing. There are 100 dresses in her wardrobe that her father bought for her. She can wear any of them if she chooses. Should I go calm her down? Zelly asked. No, let her cool off. With a shadow now cast over our preparations, we continued to put the finishing touches on our outfits. Mother put a jewel in my hair, which I thought was completely unnecessary. It will distract people from your face, she reasoned. I couldn't argue with her. Finally, we were ready for the ball. Well, physically anyway. I still didn't particularly want to go. I counted 29 times. That my mother had reminded me to find a husband. Zelly got 31 reminders. We bustled down to the waiting coach. What about Cinderella? I asked as Zelly and I climbed in. Should we tell her we're leaving? I called up to her, but she didn't reply. Mother said. Just go and I'll send her when she's ready. Unless she's changed her mind. And is continuing to sulk in her room, anyway. Ready, ladies? Angus, the coachman asked. Certainly, Zelly replied. He flicked the reins and the horses started their trot up to the palace. The road was bumpy and seemingly too long. I felt like jumping out and fleeing into the woods. At least I could have a few moments of freedom before Mother sent out the hounds to search for me.